So now let's think about the future. This is the first time, I think, in history, according to Akhil Amar, that the chief is both chief and swing justice now that Kennedy is retired.
Yeah.
He holds tremendous power over the future of constitutional law. And in the past 2 years, you'll know the statistics better because you reported them, he's joined the liberals in something like 5-4 decisions, as opposed to having done that only twice in the previous 10 years or something like that. He's been doing it a lot since Justice Kennedy retires, and seems to be signaling both a willingness to avoid sweeping constitutional questions, and when he can't, joining the liberals to preserve the court's institutional legitimacy. Do you think that this will be a feature of his chief justiceship, and how do you think that he will lead the Roberts Court moving forward?
I think it definitely will be. I think he's going to continue to inch to the left precisely for those reasons. First of all, he has already acknowledged publicly that he's voting as Chief Justice and writing opinions in a way that would be different if he were an Associate Justice. He already, even before Justice Kennedy left, he was wearing the weight of his leadership position. And you know, the court is his informally in name. We refer to the Roberts Court. So he already was very aware of how people were perceiving the Supreme Court. And I think individual concurrences of his reveal that. For example, in Citizens United, when he joins the Kennedy majority, but he also writes separately to discuss why he thinks this isn't such a terrible reversal of precedent. So he was already taking on a different role as chief than he would have been as an associate justice based on his own ideology. But now, if he's going to say, as he's done, there are no Obama judges, there are no Trump judges, there are no Bush judges or Clinton judges, he has to deliver more, because it was Anthony Kennedy who proved that point in ways, because he was a Ronald Reagan jurist who didn't vote the way, you know, let's take another Ronald Reagan jurist, Antonin Scalia did. He was much more in the middle. Obviously, Sandra Day O'Connor, another Reagan appointee, was like that too. So both of them essentially gave the court some cover to say it's not just a politically defined institution or an ideologically defined institution. There's some play in the middle. Without Justices O'Connor and Kennedy, there really would be no play in the middle unless John Roberts stepped into that role. And I think that he feels it's very important for the country, and especially in our polarized times with Donald Trump as president, he needs to show, he needs to deliver on the statements he made to you early in his tenure and that he's made in other public venues, saying we are not political. And the way to do it is to move a bit to the left. But what I say is that that's not going to be across the board. I think there will be certain areas, again, in his very firm views on race, where we're just not going to see that. For example, there's a case coming up from Harvard challenging racial affirmative action. I could see him voting with a 5-4 court against that and not looking back.